So word salad is a term used to describe speech patterns of those people who suffer with things such as schizophrenia, Alzheimer's. It is a jumble of incoherent words, incoherent speech, a language that is confusing to those around them. And this is an issue that people with Alzheimer's, people with schizophrenia, people with other difficulties within their life can struggle with. When it comes to a narcissist, the narcissist word salad is done to confuse those around them. However, it's done with malicious intentions so that the narcissist can get away with their behaviour. Narcissistic people want to deflect people as far away from the truth of that narcissist's true character as they possibly can. Narcissistic people want to avoid taking responsibility for their behaviour. They want to avoid being caught out on their behaviour. They want to avoid being proven wrong. They want to get away with their behaviour. They want to find someone else to scapegoat and to blame. They don't want to deal with the nitty-gritty with life. They want those around them to deal with the nitty-gritty with life while they got on with living life on their terms. They don't want to admit to the fact that they exploit people. They want to get away with exploiting people, and they lack the empathy to care for how their behaviour may affect those that they pretend to care about. So you might just go to discuss something with a narcissist that they simply do not want to discuss with you, and their word salad is a form of their gaslighting. They're looking to distort reality for you so that they can get away with the things they're doing to you. It can also be a form of their projection, as within their word salad they're going to come at you and start accusing you, belittling you, shaming you, blaming you, humiliating you, so that they don't have to deal with the parts of themselves that if they were to deal with, they'd be ashamed of. They don't want to recognise the internal dialogue within themselves of how they can mistreat other people. And even if they do recognise this, they don't want other people to recognise this. They want other people to recognise the narcissist as either the grandiose hero or the woe is me victim. And within the word salad, they are either going to play your hero after everything I've done for you, or they are going to play the victim. Oh, I knew you'd take their side. Oh, you never believe me. Oh, you never take my side. Oh, you always misunderstand me. You can never be wrong, can you? You always have to be right. I forgot you were perfect. They're not looking to take responsibility for their behaviour. They're looking to get you to take responsibility for their behaviour so that they don't have to. Narcissistic people flex, which is what makes it all the more confusing. Narcissistic people will take a truth and then they will falsify the information and turn it into a lie so that they can evade exposure. However, because it's taken from a truth, it's very difficult to see the lie within the truth. It's very easy to believe what the narcissist is leading you into because it started from a truth that the narcissist has twisted to their advantage. So when you go and try to discuss something with a narcissistic person, they might just talk in circles. They'll not discuss the topic at hand. They'll bring a different topic in, usually something where they might get you to defend yourself to them. And every time you try to bring it back to the original topic of conversation, they're going to circle it back onto what they want to talk about. So when you approach them about something, that's not going to get resolved, it's not going to get discussed. They're going to keep talking in circles, avoiding the actual topic of conversation at all costs to you. And I say at all costs to you because although the narcissist is doing it to avoid taking responsibility, you're the one that's going to be left feeling frustrated. you're the one that's going to end up trying to bring it back onto the topic of conversation. They're going to then accuse you of trying to create an argument, being difficult, being awkward, being selfish, being stubborn. So you're the one that then ends up blaming yourself, questioning yourself, doubting yourself, and the narcissist gets away with their behaviour. And when there's no consequences for their actions, they don't change their behaviour. They continue talking in circles to get away with their behaviour. A narcissist might try to derail you, and one way they will derail you is by using the same topic of conversation, yet finding a way to blame you so that you find yourself defending and explaining yourself to the narcissist, so the narcissist doesn't have to defend and explain themselves to you. So if a narcissistic person flirts with somebody in front of you and it makes you feel uncomfortable because it's not just somebody with a flirtatious personality, it's somebody with malicious intentions. So when you go and discuss it with them, they're going to accuse you of having trust issues, of being jealous, of being insecure, of overreacting. So you feel like you have to defend your emotional reactions to them so that they don't have to defend their actions to you. Whereas a genuine person would try to validate your feelings in a way that makes you feel better, makes you feel more secure because they care about you. They'd be, oh, sorry, yes, I didn't realise that was flirtatious. I do apologise. A narcissistic person isn't looking to do that. They're looking to invalidate your feelings, and they're looking to validate negative feelings within you so that they can blame you, they can shame you. Whatever a narcissist has done, when you call them out on this, they're going to either deny all knowledge, or they're going to turn around and say, what about the whataboutism? What about you? What about what about the fact that you're overreacting? Diversion, which is similar to derailing. However, with diversion, they're usually going to bring up a completely different topic of conversation, so that the narcissist can avoid the topic of conversation at hand and bring it on to another issue that needs resolving. Usually an issue about something the narcissist isn't happy within you, so that they don't have to deal with what they're doing to you. Deflection. So a narcissist is looking to justify or rationalise or explain their behaviour away by deflecting it onto somebody else. What about your brother? What about my ex? What about your ex? What about the neighbour? My friend can do this. My friend's ex could do this. They're looking to confuse you and distract you while diverting the attention onto somebody else, so that the narcissist has taken the spotlight away from their negative behaviour. Narcissistic people love attention. They love positive attention. If they can't get positive attention, they love negative attention, to the point where they provoke you into reacting so they can feel smug that you've reacted. But they don't like the attention where they're called out for their behaviour. So they look to deflect this away from themselves and get people to focus on somebody else. And it can be focusing on what somebody else is doing that the narcissist has done. They can simply say, well, everybody else is doing it, to justify their unjust behaviour. Triangulation, which is similar to deflection. A narcissist is looking to bring a third person into the conversation so that the conversation is deflected onto that third person and not kept on the narcissist. The narcissist is looking to scapegoat somebody else, to blame, shame, humiliate, criticise, judge somebody else, so that the narcissist doesn't feel the criticism, the blame, the shame within themselves. Changing the subject. A narcissistic person can change the subject onto a future fate. They can just simply come out with, let's get married, let's have a baby, let's go and look at that holiday, let's go to counselling. Or they can change the topic of conversation by deflecting it onto somebody else, by derailing it, by blaming you, by shaming you, by accusing you of doing things. What about you? And within a narcissist word salad, they're going to mix all these things together. So the conversation is incredibly confusing to you. One minute you're asking them a simple question, and the next minute they're answering that question with a question, and then you're defending yourself to them, and then they're talking about something in the future, and then you're discussing that, and then they're blaming you and claiming that, well, if you hadn't have done this, then they wouldn't have done that, and you're the one that's left feeling confused and drained and stressed and frustrated and angry and resentful, making it more prone for you to react to them. And then once you've reacted to the narcissist, a narcissist is just suddenly going to stand back and act all calm and say, what's wrong with you? What's your problem? I think you might be going a little bit crazy. Or they're going to simply exhaust you so much within that conversation that you just fawn and no longer go and speak to them about things for sheer exhaustion and frustration, that whenever you do, nothing ever gets resolved with them. It just leaves you feeling stressed and oppressed and depressed. So what can you do? When it comes to narcissistic people, they don't want to recognise what they do to others. And even if they do want to recognise what they do to others, they don't want to change their behaviour because it works for them. So one of the best methods to deal with narcissistic people is don't deal with them. Go no contact, leave them to live their life. You go and live your life. Not always possible, in which case it needs to be limited contact and grey rock. Don't take what they say or do personally. It's who they are. Don't take their projection personally. That's who they are. Recognise the behaviour for what it is. Recognise that they're not going to take responsibility, and leave them to it. Stop going to those for closure who enjoy opening up your wounds. They don't care about you. They care about getting their own way with you. Retreat, rethink, and only respond if you need to do so, such as court cases. And when you do respond, state your point once. Don't get drawn into that debate with them, because they're not looking to resolve issues. They're looking to complicate issues for you. They're looking to get you to defend yourself to them. They're going to come and attack you so that you defend yourself to them. They're coming to attack you so they can use your defences to smear your name to those around you, to isolate you so that they can get away with their behaviour. Don't continue the conversation with them, because when you get drawn into explaining yourself to them is when they're going to use your reactions to blame you. Remember that narcissistic people enjoy playing games. They enjoy playing many different mind games with you, to a level that we don't understand what these games are until we've actually had them done to us, and then learned about them and recognised that this kind of behaviour does exist in people. And yes, we are all capable of this kind of behaviour. We do have to recognise things within ourselves also, but just because we can recognise things within ourselves doesn't necessarily make us a narcissistic person. If we don't feel entitled to exploit people, and if we have empathy to care about other people, it's highly unlikely that you are narcissistic. You're just human. We can all behave in narcissistic ways. It's that recognition of behaviour and then working to become a better person in spite of the fact that we can all behave in manners that perhaps we're ashamed of at times. When it comes to narcissistic people, they're not looking to take responsibility. They're looking to pass responsibility for their behaviour over to you. And as you take responsibility for your own behaviour, you're often led into taking responsibility for the narcissist's behaviour. So the narcissist gets away with it. The more they get away with it, the more they believe that that works for them, the more they believe that other people are at fault and not them. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, then please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.